Okay guys, end of the session now. I'm going to do this bit of recording and I might put it in at the front of the video. If you're listening to this, it's probably at the beginning of the video. Now that's because I wanted to say I've changed pellets. I've changed from JSB 15.89 exact Diablos. Nothing wrong with them, perfect. But I'm now shooting today H&N Barracuda Hunters, and they're 18 point something sort of grains, and they're a hollow point if you look them up. Now what I want to say about it today, and you'll see this later on in the video with the squirrels that I've shot, the noise they make when they hit the squirrels is incredible. I've not heard a noise like that since probably shooting FX hybrids out of my FX M3. Now they seem deadly accurate at 25 yards, which I'm at, which you would expect a pellet to be, but because it's a hollow point, sometimes they don't always go true, if you know what I mean. But these seem deadly accurate, and I'm gonna pop one on there. Now I did have a stick on there when I zeroed this morning first thing, but it doesn't stick at all, it just flew off, which is why I stuck one on there. So let's just put one on there and hope it doesn't mash my... That's a 1mm steel plate, but it's on a nice thick bit of plywood, so I'm hoping it's not going to bugger it up too much. Maybe just a tad low. Should put one more up there. Like I said, it's minute a squirrel. But have a listen to these pellets. I've no idea at this point how the recording may pick it up. But man, they don't have to make a noise, and they don't have to dispatch the squirrels as well. So sit back and enjoy. Cheers for now. Okay, so here's the first squirrel of the day. And he takes a little bit of a wander. Where are you going? But he decides to go back up onto the feeder and eventually comes down for a nut. You're going down. Okay, good shot that. He dropped like a stone. Let's have a look at that again, slowed down a bit. So this was the next squirrel I saw. He came straight down the tree, past the feeder, onto the floor, and then jumped into that small tree next to it, and just went up the tree and then disappeared into the tree tops. And as you'll see, this seems to be a bit of a feature with the squirrels at the moment. They don't seem massively interested in the feeder still. So this squirrel, like many of the others, comes straight down the tree that the feeder's on. Just about perfect this looks, yeah? But he goes down the tree, onto the floor, and I guess he spotted his comrade on the floor there, and he goes down to investigate, I guess. So I think he's having a look at his comrade on the floor,
and he gets spooked or something in just a second. Something there. But anyway, I'm being patient, expecting him to go back up to the feeder. So on the tree goes. So I'm thinking, yeah, he's going to go back onto the feeder and sit on there and have a nut where I can take the shot. But just watch this. Off he goes, straight up the tree and into the distance.
Unbelievable.
Okay, now this fella turned up a little way through the morning, and it is pheasant season, and I am partial to a little bit of pheasant, but pheasants aren't a pest, they're a game bird, and like I say, they are actually in season at the moment, but I wasn't feeling pheasant that particular morning, so I thought I'd just watch him mulching around, let him clear up the spillage from the feeder, etc. And thought I'd leave him there and hope that he would attract some more sort of squirrels by being around the base of the tree and sort of feeding. It's a good visual sort of thing, and hoping that the squirrels will sort of see him, pick up on that and attract him towards the feeder. Now I am seeing quite a few squirrels in this wood still, bouncing around, foraging on the floor and sort of bouncing through the trees. And here's another one that I saw quite a bit off to the left hand side, and I've been watching him for a little while, and eventually he makes his way over towards the feeder tree. Here he goes. And I'm trying to be nice and patient, expecting him to pop up the tree and go and have a feed of the nuts. But again, he has a good look around the tree, maybe a bit distracted by his fallen comrades, but does jump onto the tree, so I'm thinking, here we go, and up he goes, only to the side, nope, I'm going back down. So I'm thinking perhaps he's going to have another look at his mates and then go back up the tree. But no, he starts to scarf off to the left hand side. So at this moment I'm thinking, if he presents himself with a shot, I'm just going to take it, because they're really not sort of interested in the feeder and the peanuts, typically like squirrels normally are. And there you go. As soon as he sat up like that, he took the shot before he disappeared into the distance, like many of the others have. He does a bit of a bounce around, a bit of a squirrel dance, because it's a good headshot. But that's him done. Now take a look at this pheasant. Nothing seems to faze him. Just shot that squirrel, and he's just sat up with his head up thinking, what was that noise? What's going on? What's that squirrel doing bouncing around? Now normally pheasants are so difficult to shoot because their heads are bobbing up and down, because I don't like to give them body shots if I'm typically going to be eating them, which I am. And there I hit the night vision button instead of turning it off. But this pheasant, he's playing it cool, very cool. So, quick load up of the rifle when I see this squirrel, and finally I get one that's actually interested in the feeder and the peanuts. Now, he jogs on up on top of the feeder, and here we go. I take that shot as soon as he presents it, so I'm not messing around with him disappearing on me now. And that's a good headshot. Drops like a stone. But look to the left there. Mr. Cool's still there, not phased. Just thinking, what on the earth is happening with these squirrels? What's going on here? Look at him. Never have I seen such a cool customer as this pheasant. So anyway, I leave him there because he's doing a good job. Certainly seems to be attracting the squirrels, so long may that continue. Now I'll show you that shot again, slowed down a bit, but take particular attention to the noise. Like I said earlier in the video, you listen to this shot actually hit the squirrel. Replay that one because it's an amazing noise. It really only shows up in the slow motion like that. Okay, so here's a couple of squirrels that have been bouncing around the floor for a fair bit, in front of me, to the left of me, to the right of me, and eventually they sort of come in front of the feeder, and there's a second one coming across, and he presents himself, but I'm a little bit too quick on the trigger and pull this one as I go to take up the second stage with my gloves on.
Oh, you idiot.
Can you hear me what I'm saying on the camera?
Bloody idiot.
Yeah, my mistake.
Pheasant's still there though. I'm not going to shake him.
And off they bounce into the distance again. Now again with this squirrel, he comes up to the feeder and he actually sits on the feeder really well, so I'm thinking no problem at all. But I get myself in a mess here, putting the safety on and then realising it wasn't cocked. And again, I've got my trigger set quite light on the air guns, but with my gloves on it's harder to feel that second stage, so I just take this one a little early again, and he does bounce off and I have to get out the hide and dispatch him properly there. Now it was still a very good body, heart and lung shot, and he would have died I reckon within 30 seconds, 60 seconds or so. Just watch it slow down again here. There you go. But I literally just swung the hide over my head, ran out, and popped one point blank range straight into his head about 30 seconds after taking that shot. So here's another squirrel that's been foraging around the floor to my right hand side for a bit, and eventually comes far enough over for me to get the rifle on him, and I'm not messing around because they just keep disappearing, these squirrels. So as soon as he presents one, he gets a bit of lead and down he goes like a rock. And it's all over for him. But my mate the pheasant, he's still there. Nothing's worrying him. The bird's up there. Here's the last shot, slowed up again. Just listen to the sound of that pellet smacking home.
Okay guys, session's all finished, time to go and do a pickup. I'll walk you over to the feeder and we're going to see what we've gone there, but first I'll show you the equipment that I've just used today quickly there. So here's the equipment we're using today. This is now my usual squirrel gun, FX Dreamline with the Saber tactical chassis on it, which is really good because I can leave the stock folded like that while the hide is all down. It gives me a lot more manoeuvrable room inside the hide as well, and then obviously I can just snap it open. Oh, excuse me, that's gonna fall, but yeah, there you go. Hey. But that's what we're using today. FX Dreamline Saber tactical chassis, Wulf 4K scope. Now that little bipod I've got there, not the most stablest in the world, and I've got to be honest, that ball head is caused me a problem because like this, it takes a lot of tension to hold it. But that little bipod will fold up right inside of this bag. That little bipod will fold up right in there, and if I fold the stock on the Saber tactical, that fits in the bag as well in a separate pouch at the back there. So anyway, let's go and do the pickup. There's the hide. Let's go and have a look what we've got. Okay, so here's the feeder. I had to fill it right up this morning, it was totally empty, so I wasn't sure if I'd see many squirrels today. But there you go. But we've got 1, 2, 3 there. There's another one I'll have to try and find. I shot over to the right somewhere, and there's one that you saw bounce over to the left that's behind the I went and dispatched. It wasn't a perfect shot, went and dispatched that one, and I've chucked that one behind the hide there. So yeah, a good productive morning, good few squirrels, another beautiful day in the southwest of England. There's the hide all the way down there. So hope you're all well, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers for now.
Okay, if you've got all this way through the video, thank you very much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. Take a look at a few of the pictures I took at the end of the session here. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that like button. It does seem to help with the videos. And certainly if you've any questions or comments, you know where to leave those. I'll try and pick them up and answer any of them that need answering, etc. So keep safe, be well, and see you again soon. Another squirrel video coming up very shortly.